Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, we have discussed few properties of Laplace transform like linear property, first shifting theorem, second shifting theorem and change of scale property. Now in this video, I am going to discuss two important functions and their Laplace transform. First is unit step function and second is unit impulse function. So we start by unit step function. First we define what is unit step function. So definition of unit step function is the unit step function which is denoted by ut minus a. This is notation for unit step function and defined as t is less than a, the value of function is 0, and for t greater than or equal to a, the value of function is 1. So this function is called unit step function. Look at the graph of this function. This graph is in the form of a single step. That's why it is called unit step function, where a is a positive number. The unit step function is also called Heaviside unit step function. So this is the unit step function. Now we are going to find its Laplace transform. We know that the unit step function is ut minus a, which is defined as 0 when t is less than a and 1 when t is greater than or equal to a. Now we have to find the Laplace transform of unit step function. We know that the Laplace transform of any function ft is defined as definite integral 0 to infinite e raised to minus st into ft dt, which is the definition of Laplace transform. And as we have to find the Laplace transform of unit step function, so in place of ft we put unit step function and we get Laplace transform of unit step function is 0 to infinite e raised to minus st into ut minus a dt. Now value of unit step function from 0 to a, the value of unit step function is 0, and from a to infinite the value of unit step function is 1. So we split this limit of integration in two parts, from 0 to a and a to infinite, and we get 0 to a e raised to minus st. The value of unit step function from 0 to a is 0, so 0 dt plus a to infinite e raised to minus st. Now the value of unit step function from a to infinite is 1, so 1 dt. This integral is 0 and we get 0 plus a to infinite e raised to minus st dt. Now integration of this expression, we get e raised to minus st upon minus s. The integration of e raised to minus st is e raised to minus st by minus s, and the limit of integration is a to infinite. Now in place of t we put the upper and lower limit. Minus 1 upon s is constant, so we write outside 1 upon minus s. Upper limit is e raised to minus infinite, which become 1 upon e raised to infinite. E raised to infinite is infinite and something upon infinite is 0. So upper limit gives 0 minus lower limit, in place of t we put a, so we get e raised to minus as. Simplify this expression, we get Laplace transform of unit step function is e raised to minus as by s. So this is how we find the Laplace transform of unit step function. Next is unit impulse function. So first we have to know what is the meaning of impulse. In applied mechanics, when a large force acts for a very short time. A large force acts for a very short time, then the product of force and time is called impulse. Now look at this graph. On time axis, we have a very short interval from a to a plus epsilon, and on other axis we denote the amount of force by 1 upon epsilon. So as epsilon tends to 0, this amount of force 1 upon epsilon tends to infinite. So a large amount of force for a very short time period generate the impulse. Further, the area of this rectangle, that is the product of height 1 upon epsilon and width epsilon, always gives 1. In such a case, the impulse is called unit impulse. Now, the mathematical form of unit impulse function is defined as: unit impulse function is considered as the limiting form. Limiting form means epsilon tends to 0. The limiting form of the function delta epsilon t minus a, which is notation defined as 1 upon epsilon when t lying between a to a plus epsilon, and otherwise it is 0. So the unit impulse function is defined as delta t minus a equal to limiting case of delta epsilon t minus a, which gives epsilon tending to 0, 1 upon epsilon when t is lying between a to a plus epsilon, and 0 otherwise. Now limit of this function is delta t minus a, epsilon tending to 0, delta epsilon of t minus a gives infinite as epsilon tending to 0, t equal to a, and 0 when t is not equal to a. So this is the expression of unit impulse function, which is limiting case of the function delta epsilon t minus a. Now we find the Laplace transform of unit impulse function. So to find the Laplace transform of unit impulse function, we know that the unit impulse function delta is the limiting case of delta epsilon function, which defined as 1 upon epsilon when t is lying between a to a plus epsilon and 0 otherwise. Further, we know that the Laplace transform of any function ft is the definite integral 0 to infinite e raised to minus st into ft dt. Now, as we have to find the Laplace transform of delta function, so in place of ft we write delta, and we get the Laplace transform of unit impulse function delta, which is equal to Laplace transform of epsilon tending to 0 delta epsilon function, as the delta function is limiting case of delta epsilon function. Now the Laplace transform of delta epsilon function, epsilon tending to 0, is given by 0 to infinite e raised to minus st. In place of ft we write epsilon tending to 0 delta epsilon function dt, which gives epsilon tending to 0, 0 to infinite e raised to minus st into delta epsilon dt. Now, as the value of delta epsilon function is 1 upon epsilon when t is lying between a to a plus epsilon, otherwise the value of delta epsilon function is 0. So from here we get epsilon tending to 0, a to a plus epsilon e raised to minus st, and from a to a plus epsilon, value of delta epsilon function is 1 upon epsilon dt. Now 1 upon epsilon is constant, so we write as it is, and we integrate e raised to minus st with respect to t. We get e raised to minus st upon minus s, as the integral of e raised to minus st is e raised to minus st by minus s, and limit is a to a plus epsilon. Now in place of t we put upper and lower limit, and we get minus s is constant, so we write 1 upon minus s epsilon in multiple. Upper limit gives e raised to minus s, and in place of t we get a plus epsilon, minus lower limit is a, so in place of t we put a, and we get e raised to minus sa here. Now from these two expressions, e raised to minus sa is a common term, so we take common and we get epsilon tending to 0, 1 upon minus s epsilon constant multiple. E raised to minus sa we take common from this expression, and we get e raised to minus s epsilon here, minus here we have 1. Now we expand this term e raised to minus s epsilon using the expansion formula of e raised to minus x, which is equal to 1 minus x plus x square by 2 factorial minus x cube by 3 factorial and so on. So using the expansion of e raised to minus x, we get epsilon tending to 0, 1 upon minus s epsilon as it is, e raised to minus sa in multiple. Expansion of this we get 1 minus s epsilon plus s epsilon whole square by 2 factorial minus s epsilon whole cube by 3 factorial and so on, and this is minus 1. So positive and negative 1 cancel, and then we take minus s epsilon common from the remaining terms. We get epsilon tending to 0, 1 upon minus s epsilon into e raised to minus sa. Now minus s epsilon common from all these terms, we get 1 minus s epsilon by 2 plus s epsilon whole square by 3 factorial and so on. Now epsilon tending to 0, when epsilon tending to 0, these all terms become 0. So we get 1 minus 0 plus 0 and so on, and here minus s epsilon to minus s epsilon cancel. So finally after the limit we get e raised to minus sa into 1 minus 0 plus 0 so on. So e raised to minus sa into 1 minus 0 plus 0 minus 0 so on, and which after simplification we get the Laplace transform of unit impulse function delta t minus a is e raised to minus as. So this is the Laplace transform of unit impulse function. In next video we find the Laplace transform of error function. So thank you, see you in next video.